Imagine tripping, losing balance, and hitting the ground hard. Of course, the higher you fall from, the more dangerous it gets. But here's the fascinating part. Once a person falls from about 60 meters, they reach what's called terminal velocity, around 200 kilometers per hour. Beyond that point, whether you fall from 60 meters or 600, your speed doesn't increase. The air resistance keeps you capped at the same speed. And yet, there are people who have survived falls even from such heights. So, from what exact height does survival become impossible? Today, we're going to climb level by level, from a simple stumble to a fall no human could walk away from. We'll assume the best-case scenario every time: a relaxed body, the safest landing position, and optimal conditions. This video is for scientific exploration only. It's not about glorifying risk, but about understanding human limits. Level 1, half a meter. This is the everyday trip and fall. Maybe you clip the edge of your bed frame, or miss a step on the stairs. Consequences? A scraped knee, a bruise, or the infamous shin smash that makes you see stars. At this height, the energy involved is minimal, like dropping a tennis ball. It bounces, but doesn't break. Level 2, 1 meter. Now it starts to sting. Picture standing on a chair and being pushed off. Most healthy adults can shake it off, but falling sideways could break a wrist or elbow. For older people, though, this height is already dangerous. A fractured hip or head injury is very possible. At this point, the way you land matters even more than the distance itself. Level 3, 2 meters. Here, the body starts to feel real impact. Imagine standing on top of a fridge and jumping down. You could sprain or break an ankle, crack ribs, or even damage your pelvis if you land wrong. Athletes in parkour or freerunning actually train with drops like this, learning to roll on impact to spread the energy. Survival isn't in question here, but pain definitely is. Level 4, 3 meters. Now things escalate. Internal injuries become more likely: a bruised lung, small internal bleeding, or spinal strain if you land on your back. Many workplace accidents happen around this range: falls from ladders, scaffolding, or small structures. Level 5, 5 meters. Think about climbing a tree or standing on a rooftop to grab a lost ball. That's this level. At 5 meters, even a controlled fall can result in fractured vertebrae, broken ribs, or a serious head injury. Trauma studies often point to this height as the threshold between serious and potentially fatal. Survival is possible, but walking away unharmed is rare. Level 6, 10 meters. Now we're entering high-risk territory. A fall from 10 meters is like hitting a wall at 50 kilometers per hour. Common injuries include shattered bones, collapsed lungs, or ruptured organs like the liver or spleen. Some survivors make it, but usually after surgeries and long-term damage. Level 7, 15 meters. This is where statistics tilt heavily toward fatal outcomes. Landing on your head or back almost always means death. Landing on your feet? Your legs act like crumbling pillars. The femur can snap and drive into the pelvis, causing catastrophic internal damage. Impact speed, around 65 kilometers per hour. Level 8, 25 meters. That's roughly the height of an 8-story building. At this speed, close to 80 kilometers per hour, the body can't cope. The chest cavity collapses, major blood vessels rupture, and the brain slams violently against the skull. In trauma medicine, this is considered a lethal height, with survival being the rarest exception. Level 9, 45 meters. From here, survival depends entirely on the environment. A fall onto concrete is unsurvivable. But with soft snow, tree branches, or thick mud to slow you down, there are rare miracles. One Canadian skier, for example, fell 40 meters into a deep snowbank and survived thanks to the soft landing and a relaxed body. Level 10, 60 meters. This is where terminal velocity kicks in. Your body is falling as fast as it possibly can, and falling from any higher doesn't change the impact, only the time it takes to hit the ground. From here on, the only way to survive is if the ground absorbs the impact: trees, snow, or a giant cushion of loose soil. And then, there are outliers. In 1972, Vesna Vulovic, a Serbian flight attendant, fell over 10,000 meters after a plane explosion. Incredibly, she survived, because she landed in a snowy slope while still strapped inside part of the fuselage. Her unconscious body didn't tense up, which helped reduce the damage. She suffered multiple injuries, but lived. That wasn't just survival, it was a miracle. So, what's the real answer? Under the best conditions, with skill and luck, some people have survived falls of 20 or even 30 meters. But for most of us, anything over 10 meters carries serious, often fatal risk. Remember, this is not encouragement to test limits. Science studies the edges of human survival so that we can protect them. And now I want to ask you, what's the highest fall you've ever experienced? Share your stories in the comments.